Good morning. Good morning. Welcome or welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Friday, finally, TGIF, May the 10th. Hope you're having a good day. Let's do some checking in real quick. First, let me turn this down all the way. I figured we'd have some really party time, if you can call it coffee. Elena, good morning. Just finished my audiobook Out There Screaming. Oh my goodness, by Jordan Peele, and it was kind of scary. It sounds scary. So I'm reading Fairest by Gail Carson Levine. That is a good plan. He rated it 5 stars. Good job. How am I doing today? I'm doing okay. I'm glad it's Friday. Very much looking forward to the weekend, which I don't really have any plans other than sprints. But it's just nice to have no plans. Elena, I'm doing great. Happy Friday to all my friends out there. I am glad. I was going to ask, but you always anticipate me, so I'm glad you're doing well. Mary, good morning. Happy Friday. TGIF for sure. Looks like rain again today, or at least an attempt at it. Doesn't always follow through. True. The way where I live is situated, it's often goes either south or north of us, but sometimes it does. Kim, good morning. Good morning, Kim. Elena said, hey, Mary. Hey, Kim. Mary, hi, Kim. Hope your dog sitting is going well. May be narrowing in on its end for you, hopefully. Yeah, I think it's tonight. Kim didn't sleep worth a flip last night with rain and lightning. Oh, my. Yeah, there's storms across the country for sure. But this is how things get green. We have to put up with it. All righty. So, being Friday, let's see, quick announcements. No sprints tonight. Don't do them on Friday nights, but we do have sprints tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Eastern. They'll go for 5 hours. I do every Tuesday and Thursday evening and Saturday afternoons. Today being Friday, we look at Freeform Friday, whatever it is we want to look at, plus more cozy mysteries. And I did have a couple things open that we didn't get to. Yes, Mary, Mom comes home tonight. And you love them, but happily handing them over. That concoction, that cup looks delicious. I'm kind of in the mood for it. You'd probably be on a sugar high for a little while, then you'd crash, but it'd be worth it. All right, first up we're going to look at is autobiography by Tom Selleck. You never know. Tom Selleck and Ellis Hennigan. There are many miles from the business school and basketball court at the University of Southern California to 50 million viewers for the final episode of Magnum PI. Tom Selleck has lived every one of those miles in his own iconoclastic and joyful way. Frank, funny, and open-hearted, You Never Know is an intimate memoir from one of the most beloved actors of our time, the highly personal story of a remarkable life and thoroughly accidental career. In his own voice and uniquely unpretentious style, the famed actor brings readers on his uncharted but serendipitous journey to the top in Hollywood, his temptations and distractions, his misfires and mistakes, and over time his well-earned success. Along the way, he clears up an armload of misconceptions and shares dozens of never-told stories from all corners of his personal and professional life. His rambunctious California childhood, his clueless arrival as a good-looking college jock in Hollywood, from the dating game to Fox Do Talent program to co-starring with Mae West and escorting her to black tie social functions, what it was like to emerge as a megastar in his mid-30s and remain so for decades to come, an actor whose authenticity and ease in front of the camera connected with audiences worldwide while embodying and also redefining the cliches of on-screen manhood. That one is definitely on my TBR. I don't admire a whole lot of actors, but I do admire him. Kim says I've got to get stuff together and friend coming up to get it to my car after work. Yep, move out day. Disturbing the Dead. This is third in the Rip Through Time by Kelly Armstrong. I have the first one. I've just not gotten around to reading it. with one foot in the 1860s and the other in the present day. Victorian Scotland is becoming less strange to modern-day homicide detective Mallory Atkinson. Though inhabiting someone else's body will always be unsettling, even if her employers know that she's not actually housemaid Katrina Mitchell, ever since the night both of them were attacked in the same dark alley 150 years apart. Mallory likes her job as assistant to Undertaker medical examiner Dr. Duncan Gray and is developing true friends and feelings in this century. So, understanding the Victorian fascination with death, Mallory isn't that surprised when she and her friends are invited to a mummy unwrapping at the home of Sir Alistair Christie. When their host is missing when it comes time to unwrap the mummy, Gray and Mallory are asked to step in, and upon closer inspection, it's not a mummy they've unwrapped, but a much more modern body. Not a great cover, but I get it. The split times. Hello, Deborah. How are you doing? Good morning. Kim brought way too much stuff, but you got to be prepared. You got to be prepared for any eventuality. Song of the Samurai by C.A. Parker. This caught my attention, again being historical. Japan, 1745, is a land under the iron grip of the Tokugawa shoguns. Roads are monitored, dissent stifled, and order maintained through blackmail and an extensive network of informers. Amid rumors of rebellion, Kurosawa Kinko, samurai and monk, is expelled in disgrace as the head music instructor of his Zen temple in Nagasaki. He begins an odyssey across Japan, dogged by agents and assassins from an unknown foe. Along his journey, Kinko encounters a compelling cast of merchants, ronin, courtesans, spies, warriors, hermits, and spirits on a quest to redeem his honor. Inspired by the life of the historical Kurosawa Kinko, master of the shakuhachi flute and founder of the Kinko Ryu School, Song of the Samurai takes the reader on a richly textured exploration of feudal Japan and the complexities of the human spirit. And I believe they've remade or made a mini-series of the classic Shogun. So this might be having a resurgence in interest. The Osceola's Cry, a novel of the Shelleys by Ezra Harker Shaw. In the year 1814, Mary Wollstonecraft Godwin, a gifted teenager born into a family of literary brilliance, falls deeply in love with the youthful rebel Percy Bysshe Shelley. Defying societal conventions, they embark on a daring escapade, accompanied by Mary's stepsister Claire, leaving behind their respective families and Percy's wife and children. However, their journey proves to be far from an idyllic romance, for it is fraught with tumultuous challenges. In their quest for freedom and expression, Mary and Percy immerse themselves in experimental notions of free love and join forces with the enigmatic drinking game and infamous Lord Byron. Amidst these thrilling encounters and adventures, the young lovers are confronted by heart-wrenching tragedies that test their resilience and resolve. Hey Deborah, happy Friday. Like the cover of Osceola's Cry. Yeah. The Heirloom by Jessie Rosen. The answer to the biggest question of her life lies in someone else's past. Shay Anderson's beloved Nona had endless rules for a happy, healthy life. Avoid owls, never put a hat on a bed, and never ever accept a marriage proposal that comes with an heirloom ring. Happily ever after is hard enough without bad karma in the mix. Naturally, panic sets in when Shay's boyfriend John proposes with an heirloom ring. Yes is her answer, but Nona's warning sets Shay on a mission to ensure the ring contains forever energy. She will find its previous owners wherever they may be. With the help of her long suffering big sister and a nosy journalist eager for a big story, Shay embarks on a journey that takes her from Los Angeles and New York to Italy and Portugal. Sophisticated, cinematic, and full of lively observations, The Heirloom is a diamond sharp read for everyone who's ever tried to make their own good luck. And The Secrets of the Little Greek Taverna by Aaron Palmisano. They're calling this the ultimate beach read. In a village on Naxos lies a gorgeous guest house and taverna that never opened. Cressida's husband died suddenly 3 years ago. The taverna was their dream, but she's been too lost in grief to keep that dream alive. Marjorie, Jory St. James, a young traveler who always feels more at home on the move, arrives on Naxos in the middle of the night as if summoned by the island. She quite unexpectedly becomes Cressida's very first guest. Jory quickly discovers that this island vacation is more than just a sightseeing adventure, as all of the women in town are more than what they seem. But when a hotel group offers to buy Cressida's taverna, it's going to take all of Jory and Cressida's drive and expertise to keep that from happening. With a generous dash of romance, deliciously tempting Greek food, and a growing friendship, can these two women find a way to finally open the Little Greek Taverna? This was described as magical realism in its tags. So I'm always interested in learning more. Like the idea behind the heirloom. Yeah, it's an interesting concept, isn't it? That caught my attention too. All right, back to Cozy Mysteries. Well, it does have a cover. Ripcord, Ripple Effect Mystery by Jean Glidewell. When a man falls from a 13th floor balcony, Rapella suspects murder. Seeking a peaceful retreat amid the beauty of the Redwood National Forest, Rip and Rapella Ripple are camping at the serene Mystic River RV Park in Klamath, California. I might be saying that wrong. Their inspirational Sunday morning church service turns to intrigue when Charlie Short invites Rip to fill in as the tenor singer in a barbershop quartet competition. Henry Harpendingle, their original tenor, mysteriously died in what was deemed an accidental fall from a 13th floor balcony. Rapella finds the circumstances of Henry's death anything but accidental and quickly amasses a list of suspects, including the popular Charlie Short and his wife, Fern. Will Rapella solve this deadly melody, or will they find themselves in grave danger? Don't be afraid of the spark. Return to Magic, Cozy Mystery Book number 6 by Lily Harper Hart. What happens when Michigan's most famous ghost hunter can't see a ghost but her daughter can? Harper Harlow Monroe is about to find out. When her daughter Poe starts talking about a new ghostly friend nobody else can see, one who brags about hiding from Harper, Whisper Cove's favorite paranormal investigator is on the case. Unfortunately, the new ghost comes along with a fresh body, and nobody can figure out why or how a woman who died years before is going after people in the present. Poe is confused. She likes her new friend and doesn't want to listen to her mother. There's just one little problem. The dead woman is holding a grudge against Poe's grandmother, and she's ready to add another name to her body count. Now things are getting personal. Harper has friends and they want to help, but this is the sort of war that only Harper can fight. Poe's life is on the line, and there's nothing Harper won't do to protect her, including sacrificing herself. Strap in because it's about to get wild in Whisper Cove. This one's a compilation, or as they call it, omnibus. Cover was pretty though. Fromage to Eternity. What do you mean out of print? That came out April 3rd. Never mind. Never mind. I don't have these prepped, so I'm checking the dates. All Quiet on the Witchy Front by Amanda M. Lee, 24th in the Wicked Witches of the Midwest series. Christmas is in the past, and the new year is shining bright for Bay Winchester, right up until a local inn catches fire and she realizes that something more than snow is afoot in Hemlock Cove. Bay and her husband, Landon Michaels, don't hesitate before charging into the fire. There are children at risk after all, but when the fire seems to have a mind of its own, literally, things take a shift for the worse. It seems there's a firebug on the loose in northern lower Michigan. What does he or she want, though? As Bay starts digging, clues lead her back to a real estate agent she crossed paths with weeks before. He wants the property that burned, but has he somehow come into contact with the sort of magic that can make his dreams come true? Or is it something else entirely? On top of that, two of the victims who were saved from the fire refuse to wake up. They're in magically induced comas, and the doctors can't figure out why. All that's certain is their lives are in danger, and Bay is the only one who can save them. And then there's a compilation. We looked at Starstruck. When the Curse Draws Near by Kat McGee, 6th in Murder She Witches series. A quaint charity tea party at the infamous Hollowcrest Manor takes a wickedly enchanting turn when amateur sleuth Octavia Grimstone and her friends are entrapped in a curse. But as they've been regressing in age, that's not so bad for midlife witches, right? Yet the change is rapid and perhaps never ending, which means sooner rather than later they will no longer exist. Their only chance? Solving an old murder case that's been whispering through the cobwebbed halls of the manor for years, one that might be related to the death of Octavia's late husband. With her teaching days behind her and a career as a cozy mystery author and bookstore co-owner proving more dangerous than expected, Octavia's flair for unraveling mysteries is sharply tested. Alongside her, the ever-snarky feline familiar Elzadora and the attractive Cassius Morgenthau, a witch doctor whose steady hand in magic and medicine is suddenly vital, dive into the heart of the manor's supernatural secrets. Murder at Tanton Towers, a British stately home mystery, first in series. Oh, hang on, we've got a hardcover. No, we're good. Welcome to Tanton Towers. This is by Amy Myers. Explore the eccentric, history-filled house, take tea in the cafe, and visit the site of a recent murder. Everyone told Kara Shelley that she was crazy to set up a cafe in the shadow of eccentric Kentish stately home Tanton Towers. But now, 3 years later, the 40-something single mother can't believe her good luck. The Happy Huffkin Cafe is thriving, and Kara considers the Tanton Tower staff and its equally eccentric owners, Max and Allison, to be more like family than colleagues. 3 cheers for Tanton Towers. But one beautiful summer evening, when Kara's hard at work clearing up after closing time, Allison comes hurtling down to the cafe to beg her for help. It's trouble, and of the worst kind. Daphne Hanson, queen of the tower's costume-clad dancing troupe, and the greatest nosy Parker in Kent, is lying dead in the orangery, strangled, but by whom and why. Determined that the culprit should not be one of her friends and suspicious of the detective assigned the case, the deeply annoying and annoyingly attractive DCI and Andrew Mitchum, Kara launches her own investigation, but the more secrets she uncovers, the more she's forced to consider the unthinkable, that one of her dear friends could be the killer. Dot, 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 dot. Gonna try and sleep a little bit more. Have a great day, everyone. Yes, Kim, get rest while you can. Have a good Friday. Thank you. Oh, here's another series. I know I have the first one and I keep meaning to read. And she's already up to book 11. Oh my, okay. This might have to move up. This is Lightning Strikes the Silence, a Lane Winslow mystery by Iona Wishaw. A warm June afternoon in Kings Cove is interrupted by an explosion. Following the sound, Lane goes to investigate. Up a steep path, she discovers a secluded cabin and, hiding nearby, a young Japanese girl injured and mute, but very much alive. At the Nelson Police Station, Inspector Darling and Sergeant Ames, following up on a report of a nighttime heist at the local jeweler's, discover the jeweler himself dead in his office, apparently bludgeoned, and a live wire hanging off the back of the building. As Lane attempts to speed the search for the girl's family with her own lines of inquiry, Darling and his team dig deeper into a local connection between the jeweler and a fellow businessman that leads across the pond to Cornwall and north to a mining interest on the Mackenzie River. Offices are being ransacked and everyone is following Lane. Through the alleyways of Nelson onto the country roads and woods trails of Kings Cove, the latest Winslow mystery is a study in bygone promises and lingering prejudice. Well, that's all we have time for. We'll continue that at that point onward on Monday. Meanwhile, we are already at the coffee. Whoops, maybe not. Well, that's no fun. Well, then we'll go to this one. Oh my goodness. And a commercial. There we go. We'll end with some coffee and flowers instead. Technical difficulties. Mary, hope everyone has a good weekend. Enjoy the rest of the day. Thanks as always. You betcha. Thank you for being here, Mary. Appreciate you. Appreciate all of you. Thank you. Hope you have a good Friday. Be safe. Be happy. Have a good weekend if I don't see you. Reminder, I do not have sprints tonight, but I do have them tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Eastern, and they'll go for 5 hours. Bring your own book. Work on a project, whatever it is that makes you happy. Deborah says hi to Mary. Let me put up our little banner here. All right. So, Deborah says, everyone have a great Friday weekend. Indeed. Back at you, baby. All right. As the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Have a good day. God bless.